Hello, I'm Marina Kim and you're watching news from Kazakhstan, and here are the headlines. Chinese mass media claim that Kazakh Olympic medalist Zulfiya Chinshanlo restored her Chinese citizenship. Sports Ministry refused this information. Austrian socialists conducted an action in support of Zhanaozen oil workers during the official visit of Nursultan Nazarbayev to Vienna. While in Almaty, opposition members summed up first results of independent investigation of December riots of 2011. "180 movies from 20 countries. Almaty hosted low-budget international student film festival. Kazakhstan and China are disputing over Olympic medalist Zulfiya Chinshanlo. Chinese journalists write that weightlifter now possesses Chinese citizenship and plans to compete for China. Chinshanlo is keeping silent while the Sports Ministry is refuting all the information, claiming that athlete is on vacation and is now currently in China but is about to return. More details in the next report.
Zulfiya Chinshanlo, the Olympic weightlifting champion, has shocked her fans twice by now. First when she collected a gold medal for Kazakhstan on July 29th, but also on Tuesday, October 23rd. The athlete apparently decided to change her citizenship, with the news spreading across the media outlets like a wildfire. The matter was brought to light in an article written by a Chinese reporter who claimed that Zulfiya is leaving Team Kazakhstan to take on Chinese citizenship. Allegedly, the Olympic champion has already received a new passport ID, and her entry in Wikipedia reflects that. Zulfiya Chinshanlo's real name is Zhao Changling, and she's ethnic Dungan. 5 years ago, the athlete left China for Kazakhstan and won a gold medal at the recent Olympics as a member of Kazakhstan's national team. So far, the Sports and Physical Education Agency of Kazakhstan denies the information that the athlete will represent China from now on. Officially, she's on vacation. She's flying back on October 27th. Therefore, it is premature to make any conclusions. Let's just wait when she returns and then we'll ask her directly. I believe that's just an internet hoax perpetrated by the Chinese. Ruslan Medelbekov, a columnist who closely followed live broadcasts of the weightlifters' victories, says that there's nothing to worry about. Similar precedents have happened before. We shouldn't be surprised by her transfer to China, although this could be a matter of heated debates among her fans. People who invited her could be called to the federation for the reprimand. This is sports and everything is possible here. She fulfilled her mission, contending under our flag, and she did win the medal. Will the youngest Olympic champion return to Kazakhstan or stay in China? Only Zulfiya Chinshanlo knows the definite answer for now, and the rest of us will find out only after she returns from vacation on October 27th.
Kazakh state officials travel abroad for medical treatment. This fact that outraged the Kazakh Muslims Union was confirmed by Yerbalat Dasaev on Tuesday in the lobbies of the government. Ex-health minister first tried to refute this information and indicated that Kazakhstan itself has equivalent clinics to Western ones.
Dasaev had to admit that the quality of domestic health services is not the best, but noted in his defense that the government is making every effort to ensure that hospitals and clinics meet the needs of the population. We still have issues related to the quality of medical services provided by the currently employed personnel. We've done the right thing by emphasizing the importance of shifting from hospital treatment to preventing the diseases in the first place.
Elimination round for international festival Vivat Kazakhstan gathered authors and performers, future draftees and retired military officials. What kind of songs do the people liable for military service sing? Find out from the next report.
The contest has 3 nominations: Soviet, patriotic and original songs. Festival organizers say that the quality of modern showbiz products is quite poor, and that is why old Soviet songs are still very popular. We have enormous heritage that we should preserve. These songs are excellent. Unfortunately, not many patriotic songs are written these days, and they are quite poor anyway. We give the chance to new songwriters and singers to shine. Balkhash resident Zhumatay Aga is well prepared for the contest, evidenced by his song about the president of the country. The performer feels that writing such compositions is a matter of honor, for instance, like serving in the army. Still, the performance itself is quite free-spirited. Of course, the song bears certain responsibility, and it took a while to come up with it. Contestant number 63 came from Aktau with a song about Soviet participation in Afghan war in the 80s. Not much is written on the subject in school textbooks, and the young generation doesn't know a lot about these events. Young people know about the war in Afghanistan only in general terms, but not many really understand why we fought there. Around 70 contestants took part in the Festival of Military and Patriotic Songs. Only 11 of them will be selected for the gala concert to sing alongside Kazakhstan's popular performance and stars.
On Tuesday, President of Kazakhstan Nursultan Nazarbayev completed negotiations with Austrian President Heinz Fischer on business cooperation. Agreements signed are estimated at around 170 million euros. The finale of bilateral meeting was spoiled by the slogans of protesters as local activists gathered in front of the Federal Economic Chamber, where the business forum was held.
Members of Austrian Socialist Party chanted Nazarbayev is a killer of oil workers, Fischer is a hypocrite, and waved banners with signs written in German, English and Kazakh languages, calling for the release of people imprisoned in Zhanaozen. Dozen party activists were quickly cordoned off by the police and agents in the civilian clothes, but the rally continued. According to the activists, they came to the building of the Economy Chamber to protest against the deals with Kazakhstan's regime and to encourage Austrian businessmen to refrain from working with representatives of the Kazakh government.
I'm very angry about the Austrian government and especially Heinz Fischer, the Austrian president, to work together with a bloody dictator, Sultan Nazarbayev. I'm very angry that many Austrian capitalists want to invest in Kazakhstan, make money, especially out of the oil. I think it's dirty money.
Back on Monday in Vienna, Nursultan Nazarbayev voiced his opinion over Zhanaozen tragedy and the ensuing trials. According to Mr. President, everything was open and fair. At the same time, observers from an independent commission investigating riots in Zhanaozen think otherwise. On Tuesday in Almaty, they summed up the first results of their work. Opposition members blamed Nazarbayev for the tragedy, while some said that people were executed on purpose to discredit exiled banker Ablazov. More details come next.
Independent observers presented alternative official reports on Zhanaozen events on Tuesday. The initiator of the hearing was a public commission which investigated the December tragedy in Mangistau region. It promised to release the more detailed analysis towards the anniversary of the new Zhaltoksan. The authorities tried to shift their responsibility to the extent possible for not resolving the labor dispute during almost 8 months and for the tragedy of December 16, which caused the deaths of people. This is exactly what caused all these criminal proceedings, including the trial of Kozlov, Aminov and Sapargali. That is why the truth and the circumstance leading to the riots were not the priority during these litigations. The husband of Sholpan Utikeyeva, Duisen Nurov, was wounded in his leg on December 16th in Zhanaozen. None of the Shetpe residents have received the compensation of $10,000 from the government so far. Those families whose close ones spent 7 months on strike are in need of psychological help. We're tired. In fact, we're still subjected to pressure. Murat Jusanbayev has recently been to the funeral of his friend Alexander Bazhenka. Many would consider him a victim of Zhanaozen, or rather the trial of Zhanaozen events. Alexander was a prosecution witness. However, during the trial he confessed that police forced him to testify against the oil workers. His friends from the orphanage recall how Alexander's brave move cost him his life. He came out and told me that he is forced to write a false testimony. We told him not to be afraid of anyone but God and to tell the truth. Why does anyone have to be imprisoned for no reason? Neither Bazhenka's confessions nor claims of torture by the defendant Roza Tulitaeva affected the decision of the court. Tulitaeva's attorney Gulnur Aspaeva believes that these issues shall be taken into account by the public commission. However, the time goes, making it all more difficult to prove the misconduct of investigation team. These are the grounds for reconsideration of the sentence based on new circumstances and the major opportunity for mitigation of punishment. The authorities were expected to attend the public hearings, but to no avail. In the meantime, the President Nazarbayev has already announced the official lead for the foreign media on Monday. The detractors escalated the simple labor dispute to the bloodshed, but the court punished the guilty.
Journalists with Golos Respubliki and Vzglyad newspapers appealed the decision of Aktau City Court. They demand to exclude from the verdict of Vladimir Kozlov, Serik Sapargali and Akjanat Aminov all the statements and accusations addressed to the outlets.
Judge Mirzabekov's verdict says that TV channel K+, website Stan TV and newspapers Respublika, Golos Respubliki and Vzglyad followed the information policy aimed at undermining and damaging social and political base of Kazakhstan's constitution. On Tuesday, Sergei Utkin, who represents outlets' interests in court, sent his appeals petition by mail. The lawyer says that it was Kozlov, Sapargali and Aminov who were on trial, not representatives of the press. For this reason, the court didn't have the right to make any assessments of the publications. If the newspaper was officially on trial, then we could build a line of defense. But we were not given such opportunity, and for this reason, all these statements, assessments and circumstances regarding the newspaper established by a court in a separate criminal trial should be dropped from the verdict. This is the demand we have sent together with a petition of appeal.
Yet another scandal in the ministry of Asiljan Mamutbekov. Agriculture Ministry is searching for billions provided for the purchase of veterinary medications. Their cost was by mistake or on purpose overrated by someone from the ministry in course of 4 years.
The situation was clarified when the Agriculture Ministry purchased 26 different types of solutions to diagnose animals and birds' diseases. The bidding system allowed to save the ministry over $1.5 million, which actually means the medicine price was significantly raised in the past years. For instance, according to the spreadsheet, the price of one bottle for microscopes immersion oil is $480, whereas the market price doesn't exceed $53. The employees of the Agricultural Ministry seem baffled, saying that violations occurred at the stage of the budget planning. The total amount of money overpaid in natural currency reaches billions. The investigation of the matter is currently underway, with the case transferred to the prosecutor's office. This has been going on for the past 3 or 4 years, and only in 2012 the results of the audit revealed the situation. We have submitted all materials to appropriate agencies to determine who made these mistakes or omissions.
Fraud, forgery and distribution of irrecoverable loans. These are the charges brought against the ex-head of Shymkent branch of Kazkommertsbank, Almabek Primbayev. Prosecution office confirmed his arrest on Tuesday.
When he was a director of Kazkommertsbank's branch in Shymkent, as well as leading its regional department in 2007, he forged documents and issued false loans for the total amount of $5,582,000. The scandal linked to one of the largest banks in Kazakhstan erupted when its Shymkent branch started issuing loans for business development back in 2007 and 2008. The first criminal case dealt with misappropriation of $1.3 million. 13 persons were convicted, 3 of whom were bank employees and other 10 borrowers. In the second case, the amount more than doubled, as well as the number of convicted people, 17. The hearings of the third episode began on Tuesday, and the investigation of the fourth case is currently underway.
Kazakhstan is a business rating state. The World Bank published a report in which the country was ranked 49th, which is considered quite honorable. However, small-scale businesses suffer still. More details in the next report.
Representatives of the World Bank organized a teleconference with Washington to announce the high rates of business reforms. Late at night, the World Bank reported that Kazakhstan has joined the list of 50 countries seeking to improve its business climate. For some reason, the bank chose to ignore the corruption index, administration resources usage, employment relationships, investment opportunities and other factors.
What we are suggesting is that future reforms need to be, the prioritization of new reforms need to take into account the views of enterprises. Only enterprises and businessmen can tell the authorities what are the most significant obstacles that they face in doing business. So rather than a prioritization coming from authorities, it should come from the views of enterprises and businesses.
On Tuesday, Almaty's Shanyrak marked the Day of Entrepreneurs. Officials are now creating conditions for private sector development, and it is high time to think about business plans. It's a paradox. The number of officials keeps rising, although few of them are hired for public service. All attempts to reduce the number of licensing procedures are still failing. You should trace the source of this information, as I haven't came up with it myself. Entrepreneur Shukhmet Makhaliyev has no time to attend such meetings. He is looking for potential investors for his small grocery store and a beauty salon with a view to expand his business. Unfortunately, this involves a lot of paperwork and bureaucracy, while high interest rates also dampen businessmen's ambitions. This store will be also closed down if there is no financial support. We need constant investment to meet severe competition caused by a growing number of new stores and supermarkets. We have already closed 2 stores due to the lack of investment. It is highly unlikely that Makhaliyev's opinion will be considered for the next World Bank report, while Kazakh officials keep ignoring the economically active population. After all, judging by their ratings, the country is doing quite good.
Aranbek Shaymaghanbetov lost his both legs after the accident. However, he was able to recollect and get back on track. Now Aranbek does patchwork, which was always considered something feminine. More details in the next report.
Colored patches are like mosaic, which makes a bright picture. Seeing this, you really want to see the magic of a woman's hands. But not in this case. Aranbek Shaymaghanbetov is the master of patchwork. He's an ordinary village guy. For some, his work might not seem masculine and something that a real man wouldn't want to do. For him, it's the real work of a real man that earns a living for his family. I get really mad when I see totally strong and healthy men living on their parents' retirement benefit. There's nothing masculine or honorable here. There's nothing more delicious in this world than a piece of bread that you earned yourself. And there's nothing more important than being able to earn a living for your family. Aranbek, who used to be a tractor driver, lost both of his legs 10 years ago. He has learned what it means to become handicapped and how hard it is to live on the tiny government allowance. He doesn't like to remember those hard times. He says that losing legs doesn't mean losing your character, and it was his character that helped him reveal the talents of the public craftsman. The sewing machine is a breadwinner for the family. I started working on my mother's antiquated manual machine. It was really hard, I should say. Later, an electric machine was given to me as a gift from the businessman. That was when things went well for my business. The cost of the blanket or a mattress ranges from $10 to $25. Jenny School, the house mistress, has a hobby that brings more money into the family budget. She grows home plants. It seems that a quite little happiness has found a place in their house, and the formula is rather simple. When he gets angry, I try to stay calm. When I lose it, he doesn't argue. This is mutual respect and understanding. Just like all his blankets, Aranbek assembles his life from the colored fragments to create a bright and exquisite mosaic. Recently, Aranbek engaged in a project on a distinct level. He will start growing vegetables in the greenhouse. Another dream of his will come true soon. Shaymaghanbetov family will have their own place to live in.
The second International Student Film Festival Bastau was launched in Almaty. This is one of the low-budget contests. This year, program included 180 shorts from 20 countries. Find more details in the next report.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are glad to welcome you to hospitable Kazakhstan in the beautiful city of Almaty.
The second International Film Festival Bastau kicked off in Almaty. The festival is only for the students of film schools who would present their short films. The contest itself is low-budgeted, with $100,000 covering everything. I'm going to shoot a feature film, and my dream is to get a Cannes Festival prize on certain regard. I'm trying to get this prize. One should develop himself, and that includes the festival screening, which helps people to watch his films even abroad. This time, 180 works from 19 countries were submitted to the festival. As a result, 44 motion pictures were selected. Bolat already knows what to wear for the red carpet appearance. The students don't usually tend to be rich. Bolat, along with his friend, managed to shoot a short movie for 3 packs of raviolis or $10. I'm not very ambitious, perhaps Ilyas is. If we get the prize, it would be great, because this was our first work in filmmaking, really. We would be glad to receive the prize in the academy. The fellow cameraman Ilyas Shoashbayev is convinced that ambitions are necessary, but in moderation. During freshman year, majority of the schoolmates were bragging to create a masterpiece, yet none of them shot one so far. Bolat and I, we made no statements and didn't shoot too high to make a fancy movie. The camera was manually operated and we managed to film in 3 days. We've done the best we could from that little amount of time we had. And if it was the other way around, with the decent budget, the better cameras and the actors, this wouldn't be quite the same. Other contestants chose the traditional way. Their theme is the independence of Kazakhstan. They managed to fit it all in 40-minute-long film sponsored by Kazakhfilm. We've tried to find completely different characters from various social strata. We filmed a Paralympian, Makjan, who is a champion of Kazakhstan on athletics. We also filmed an athlete, Dauren Yeleuzizov, born in 1991, who participated in London Olympics. If they're lucky, the directors of the patriotic motion picture might receive the grand prix of $1,000. Then they would have to split this between the film crew. They estimated it to be enough for 2 cameras, otherwise they would have to split this between 25 people.
The Awakening was premiered in Astana. The author of the idea is the younger daughter of President of Kazakhstan, Aliya Nazarbayeva. On Monday, the movie was shown on one of the country's channels, while during the briefing only a small part of it was featured and the press was not able to ask any questions.
The earth with time will turn into a beautiful garden. Why should we wait for death to end up in heaven, when today we can turn the earth into heaven? Aliya Nazarbayeva calls Kazakhstan's population to stay closer to nature, showing the audience how urbanization can lead to society to a collapse. The daughter of the capital's founder believes the future belongs to small, eco-friendly communities. During a press conference, Nazarbayeva read her statement, seemingly designed to invoke patriotism among fellow citizens. I feel that words and ideas in the film will stay with us and help to determine our position regarding environment and its unique and vivid content.
This is all we have time for now. See you tomorrow. Have a good day.